you are uniquely good at one of two things in life. You're either a simplifier or you're a multiplier, okay? And this is what I mean by simplifiers. Simplifier are people who like to take very complex things and make them simple, okay? And in any situation you'll come into, you say, oh, this is too complicated. And you'll take all the things that make up the situation and you'll simplify it. You know, it'll be much clearer, it'll be much simpler, it'll be much easier when you're finished with it, okay? And that's what simplifiers do. So you have to think about your own experience as I'm describing these. Here's what multipliers do. They look for things that have just been simplified and then they take them out to the world because the new simplified thing is better than what already exists out there. So they can make a lot of progress, they can make a lot of money by taking things that other people have simplified and take them out to the world where things are complicated and complex and confusing, and this is a real value. Now, I want to tell you something about each of them. Simplifiers don't want to do multiplier work, and multiplier people don't want to do simplifier work, okay? And what I mean by that is one of them you just naturally love to do, and the other one, if you do it at all, it's because you think you should do it. So I got to confess right up here, I'm 100% simplifier, okay? And throughout my career, I've had to do multiplier work. I've had to take what I've simplified and I had to take it out there and sell it, okay? But I always did it with the addition of one other word. This is something that you should do, Dan. This is something that you have to do, Dan. And so I kind of had to gear myself up. I had to kind of rev up my energy. I had to say, now, okay, you only have to do it for today. You only have to do it for a few days here. And then you get to come back and do the thing that you love, which is simplify. Okay, so that's me as a simplifier. How does it operate for a multiplier? Well, multipliers know that at a certain point, things are getting kind of complicated and they're going to have to go back and simplify things a little bit because they're creating too much stuff, they're creating too much action, they're creating too much, complexity out there, and they have to go back. They should do that, they have to do that, and they know they have to do it. Okay, but what they really like to do is just get out there and multiply things. Okay, so you got the feeling that there's two different kinds of people. Now, as an entrepreneur, might be hard for you to understand this right now because to get where you are right now, you had to do both. That was the same for me. You know, I had to do both of them until our team got big enough that I could have parts of the team who were just multipliers. Okay. And I also have simplifiers on the team, but they don't simplify what I simplify. And that's very, very important to realize. A simplifier does one thing here, another simplifier does something else here. And for the company to work, you got to have both simplifiers and multipliers. And if you can get them to work together, it's magical. So this is the key to it. And when I have explained this concept, and this goes back about 6 months, and I started with certain people who I knew the moment they heard this, they could make really rapid change. What my experience with this concept of simplifier, multiplier, collaboration is that people get it instantly. The moment they realize it, they realize that every part of their life that they didn't like, that was kind of mucky, that was complicated, was when they were one thing trying to be another thing. They were a simplifier trying to be a multiplier, or they were a multiplier trying to be a simplifier. And so when you try to do that, you're generally a complicator. Okay, so you don't want to be a complicator, and you don't want to be the other person. So I'm 100% simplifier. Babs, who's my lifetime partner, she's my partner in the business, she's my partner in life, she's 100% multiplier, okay? And it was, from the day we met, it was kind of magic, and it's been magic for the last 37 years. So I just want you to consider this, okay? That going into the future. We're in this sort of scary time of the pandemic right now, okay? So one of the things you might think about is, I know I was both a simplifier and a multiplier till we got to this point, but one of my things that's going to happen when we have a new normal, the old normal's gone, but the new normal, when the new normal comes, for the rest of my life, I'm just going to be a simplifier, and then I'm going to collaborate with multipliers, or I will be a multiplier and I'll just collaborate with simplifiers.